Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you today? I bet your weekend's been absolutely brilliant knowing we've got a new manager on board. Well, you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the famous Foxes Aftermatch show run by the fans for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion matters. So come on, get them comments in. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, got an apology to make straight away, slap my hand. Happy Father's Day, everyone out there. Happy Father's Day to my father. I don't think he'll be watching this. He's not very technically minded, unless my half-brother's helping him watch it as well. But happy Father's Day, Dad, Mr. Preston. I hope you're all well. I hope every father is absolutely buzzing today for Leicester City. It's absolutely new manager, new man in charge. Little bit of a risk because he's not really done any proper managing. He's been assistant manager, but he's been with Pep for a couple of years. But it's a risk. We needed to take a risk. I'm going to bring young Reedy in, or as he's now known as Plain Jane. Morning, Reedy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What's happened to your background, pal? What are you doing? You moved out or something?
No, I'm having a revamp, mate. I'm painting my room in that lot, so it's a nice, clean look once everything goes back up on the wall. So.
Blank canvas. And we're also going to bring in Geordie Jono. Geordie Jono, how the devil are you?
I'm good. Bit of a sore throat, but I'm good.
Bit of a sore throat. Well, you've been screaming and shouting when we've got Enzo Marasco as manager.
No, just got a cold.
Oh, have you? I've got a bit of a snuffle as well, actually. I hope you're not giving me a bit of a computer virus this morning, pal.
Oh, haven't.
Right then, Reedy, we'll start with you, pal. What's your feeling on the new manager? And it's a fresh start, isn't it? And will he come in with a clean sweep?
Again, I don't want to be the negative one out of the group, but
what a surprise!
It just seems a bit of a big gamble in the position we're in. Again, people say, would you rather have boring football and go in the Premier League or entertaining football and you don't know where you finish? I would probably say I'd go for the more sensible option, but again, it's a big jump and a big gamble. I just hope it pays off because I am excited for it. Because what else? Who else can you learn from than probably one of the best managers in the world? So that's obviously something to take in, but it's all if buts and maybe at the moment.
It is all if and buts. But yeah, Jono, it must be like I said. It's a breath of fresh air. A new bloke coming in like that. We needed, didn't it? Because Brendan Rodgers had drained the life out of the players. I know there's not going to be a lot of players that stay. But what do you think, pal? What do you think on it?
I think Enzo needs to go into that change room and say, do you want to stay? Yes or no? Be blunt. And if you don't want to stay, F off. Because we need a fresh start. We need players who actually want to play for the club. He's a new manager, which means no one knows his play style. People know Lampard's play style, Gerrard's, Scott Parker's. No one knows this Enzo's play style. He can get his own players. He can bring in like 8 new players that are his, which are brilliant. I think.
Just on that play, do you think he will go to Pep and get some of them quality youngsters?
Yeah, I think he can bring in 4 or 5 under 23 players for loan. I think he'll be. He always has a relationship with Pep, so he can ask him for tactics. He can ask, I think it will be. I'm happy we've taken a risk. I'm happy we've not gone for or like a standard boring manager like Allardyce or Lampard or Gerrard. We need to take a risk, and I'm buzzing we've got him.
Yeah, just on this, read it. I'm going to read. Gray Richardson, reading what Enzo has said, there's going to be some kicks up the arse. It's great. It's great what he actually said. He said, I'm very excited because of the club and because of a big season ahead of us. First of all, we want to try and play football. At the beginning, the target is to play the best we can. From here, we can build the day-to-day, our idea and philosophy. And the most important thing is to try and win games. And it's a we. It's not they. It's a we, he's saying. More than Brendan Rodgers was throwing people under the bus. It's a we, not they.
The way I see it is, I think that's just like every manager has to say, surely, isn't it? It doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like anything like different to what a lot of managers do say when they're at a club.
But it's like this comment he also made. What do you make of this one then, Jono and Reedy? I'll start with you, Jono. The players that stayed with us from last year, they need to change their mentality. It's Rodgers could have said this last year. Quite easily, Rodgers could have said that last year and changed the mentality of a relegation battle, but we never got that kind of mentality. And he's got to come in with a new mentality, Jono, which is what we needed, isn't it?
Yeah, he needs to go like, yeah, I want to play for the club or leave. He's blatantly saying you have to play 100% or else I'm not playing you.
Yeah.
And he's Italian, so he will shout. he will mean what he says. And I don't think he'll be the sort of person who goes, "Oh, it's your fault." It's either it's my fault, and if it goes wrong, and I think he'll kick everyone's art. He'll kick the background's artists up in the arse, and I think he'll really be a good mindset change in the squad.
Yeah, and it's this other comment that he made that really impressed me. It's the same kind of thing of mentality, really. I consider Leicester as a big club, a Premier League club. The reality is the moment says that we are in the Championship. We also need to have all the players with the same mentality, thinking that we are Championship club, not a Premiership club. Reedy, come on, you must think I know you're saying he's saying the right words, but for a new manager to come in there and say we're a big club, but we're in the Championship and we need the mentality of Championship, surely that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess again, but you've got to look at it and think we are a Championship side. We just are. Again, people can say we're a big club. At the moment, would you call us a big club? Probably not, because we're in the Championship. So I'm glad that he thinks we're a big club. Again, we played last season. We played against Man City twice, or I don't know if we played them I can't even remember if we played them in the in any of the cups. But again, we've played them last year, so we deserve to be in the top division if we can play against them.
Have you seen this comment from Mark Gazzard? As he actually said, "I don't want players going to the Seagrave and be a bit of a holiday camp."
Oh, no.
And I've been saying that for ages, and that's what Maresca said. Is going to make it hard work for them in there. So the Seagrave thing that I've been saying for the last couple of years, he's gone in and said, Jono, that it needs to be hard work in there, not a playground for them.
100%. Like, you can't put Seagrave down to Leicester City's downfall. Like, we needed a new training ground. We got it. Yes, the players took that. Like, maybe they showed too much of them having fun, but we have the best training facility in England. I can't see any others better than us. So we need to utilize We've got the best foundations. We've got a rich owner. We've got a good stadium. We've got a fantastic training facility. We've got good links. He's got the best building blocks to build this team into what he wants and to build it going forward. If it'd be our fault if we don't mess up. It's not Brendan's fault. It's not, we've got a fresh start and let's have a new philosophy and let's get in there.
See, also, Mac has said here, morning, Pete, we need players that will fight for the shirt and push for promotion. The fans need to get behind the new manager and any new players. Really, it's true, isn't it? We need players for that fight. We need Championship players. We don't need Premiership players at the minute. We can sort that out. when we go up next year. We
Yeah,
need
exactly.
to get Championship players in that have done it and been there and done it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I said. The moment we got relegated, I said we need to start bringing in the likes of the Coventry striker who scored 20+ goals a season. We need to be bringing players who have been player of the season for Championship sides the last couple of years. These are the players we need to make sure we get in to try and push on for another Premier League season next season.
Go on, John.
This is why we must keep Dewsbury Hall. We must keep him because he's been there. He's been at Luton winning the Championship. He knows what it's like to be a midfielder in the Championship. So I think, first of all, keep Dewsbury Hall. Not build a team around him, but we've got a midfielder who has had that experience. We've got a big player who's got Championship experience.
Stephen, I'm going to be positive this year. I am going to be positive. I think we will go up. I think we will go up. I'm not. Now we've got a new manager, new broom, sweeps new life into the club. Here's a new idea, something totally different. I think we will go up. Hopefully not through the playoffs, but I do think we'll go up. John O'Reilly, do you agree?
Go on, Johnny, you first.
Oh,
if I'm on Jamie's side, only if we have a good transfer window.
Reedy?
I would have been more confident if we got someone else in, but
oh my god!
Oh, Reedy!
No.
Reedy, why are you being negative?
No.
He's gone.
No.
I'm still backing. I'm going to back Enzo all the way, but what I'm saying is we just don't have anything to go on. Whereas someone like Scott Parker or Dean Smith, we know they've done past to get people up into the Premier League.
Well, Burnley didn't have anything to go on apart from.
Well, he did manage 2 seasons.
It was only there for a couple of seasons. He didn't really set the world.
Again, I'm not trying to say that this manager's shit. I'm not. I'm just trying to say that I can't say anything like positive until we see what we have. We might, after 10 games, I bet you right now, after 10 or 15 games, if we are in 15th position, people are going to start going on to Enzo's back or even the board's back saying, why did you pick him over Scott Parker?
Right.
That's all I'm going to say.
I totally disagree with you on that one. It's a new idea. It's a new manager that's coming in from somewhere new. It's not like getting Scott Parker in. It's not like keeping Dean Smith. It's not like getting Sam Allardyce. We know what their football's like. It's going to take time to build on this. Pre-season training only starts July the 3rd, 4 or 5 weeks before the season starts, which I think is a bit strange. I thought it might have started earlier, but anyway, we can't do anything about that. We've got to give him time to build his plans. Even if we see things the first 10, 15 games, and we're only in 10, 15 position, like Reedy says, we need to take it stead and build it up. And even if it takes 2 years for it to go up, yes, we don't want 2 years. But if we see the signs of new things happening this season, then we'll do it. But you can't. A new manager with new ideas, it's totally different from getting someone in like Brendan Rodgers, Puel, Shakespeare, Dean Smith, Scott Parker. We all know what they do. This is going to take new ideas. This is about a new manager, Reedy. You can't say.
I do hope we go on a massive title charge with him. Again, I would love that. I'm not being negative. I'm just not. I can't say anything positive without seeing it because I don't know what's going to happen. People are saying I'm being negative. I'm not. I was so positive the whole season last year, and I don't know how because of what happened last season. But you saw how from being so positive to the last 10 games, me just going, right, I'm done. I ain't got any positivity left. This is how I am. I've just got to hope something happens positive-wise.
Burnley took a gamble and it paid off. That's all that mattered. Burnley took a gamble. We're not known for a club that takes risks. And we've decided to take a risk.
That's one thing I'm glad about. I'm glad we did.
We've normally gone for the solid manager. Like,
look at Arsenal.
Pearson, Claudio Ranieri. We've gone for that kind of manager. We've now taken a complete new risk. And I'm just going to bring Nick in. Morning, Nick. How are you, pal?
Morning, guys. You're right.
2 minutes for you, matey. Come on, then. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the new manager?
I think it's the best appointment we could have voted for myself. Parker, for me, strikes me a lot like Brendan Rodgers was. You know, he plays that type of football. He's very quick to throw players under the bus. We've seen it previous times. And just because he's got this fantastic record of getting out the Championship doesn't mean he'd have got us out of the Championship. You know, we've signed players in the past when we're in the Championship, like Beckford, for example, who could score supposedly shit tons of goals in the Championship. And look what happened there. Do you know what I mean? Nothing is guaranteed. I like the side of Maresca. He can possibly bring in some players like Cole Palmer, McAtee, is it Harewood Bellis? Who's
you can't. I don't. I don't
Read it.
want
Hang on.
to bring a load of Man City loanees.
Read it. Oh, for God's sake, Reedy, just calm yourself down. Go and have a biscuit or something.
Go and make another cup of tea. I
didn't say loads of players. One or two. For me, we've got to keep Evans behind the scenes just for that bit of experience and leadership.
Nick, there's a rumour he's going Palace this morning.
Oh, is it? I've not seen that.
No, that's the rumour. I'm not saying it's true. It's in the Twitter space, so it must be true if it's on Twitter. But we've got
to try and keep Iheanacho as well.
Here's one. This is what I'm on about. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying I need a pragmatic view. I can't say anything. I'm hopefully being positive to see how the season goes, but I can't comment on anything otherwise. There's no reason for me to be like, oh, it's just gonna be a great season. I hope it is.
But we don't know yet, do we? That's fair. Let's be fair. We've not even seen what the fixtures are like. We get them on Thursday. We've got to get some players in. We need to know what players are going to be staying that are not out of contract. You know, let's just see where we are in a couple of more weeks. But as I say, there's no point dwelling on the fact that we could have had Parker. Parker, completely opposite direction for me if we went for Parker.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
look at Arsenal. One of the biggest clubs in Europe. Went for Arteta. He never managed a club before. He went from player to manager. His first season or 1 season and a half was dreadful. He almost got the sack. He was dreadful. But then he got his players he wants. He got all his players he wanted. Then almost won the Premier League.
Yeah, and to be fair to Arteta, in his first season, he won them the FA Cup.
We need that time. You need to give him that chance. Get the players he wants. Give him half a season to get him this philosophy in place. Then we can, after one season, and he's still rubbish, then I can judge him. But I can't judge him for a long time because, for once, Leicester's taken a risk, and let's go with it.
The question is before Jamie starts talking again. What is the objective? What is the objective this season?
Well, the objective is to go up, isn't it?
Yeah, the main objective.
I'm saying is,
and you're saying you've got to give Enzo time. There's not time.
Yeah, but Reedy, there's ways of doing it. For example, if you go for Parker, and like you, Locks, and all the others were saying, get Parker in, get him up, then sack him in. That's a quick fix. That's a quick fix. We can't keep going quick fixes. We've got to put the foundations back down again to start from scratch.
You'd be happy to be in the Championship for 3 or 4 seasons to see Enzo work.
Reedy, I've seen this club at its worst. I've seen this club at its best. To me, it doesn't matter if we're in the Premier League or in the Conference. I will still follow my club. Either way, we've got to be realistic here. Brendan Rodgers, Rudkin, and all the others have done so much damage. I don't think we can do a quick fix to sort it. It's got to be, you got to lay the foundations down, a bit like what Pearson did when we were in League One, and start from scratch again. I really do.
Nick, I'm going to let you go, so I've got a few others waiting to come on.
That's fine.
So we'll speak to you later, pal. Be good, but
you're
happy. You're happy with taking a bit of a risk, yeah?
Yeah. Why not?
Perfect. Rightio. Cheers, Nick.
Take care.
Cheers, mate. See you again soon. Right, I'm going to bring our Sheffield correspondent in now, Mr. Ross, and then we'll bring our Welsh correspondent in, Locks.
Have you done it?
Locks, we'll start with you because you look like you're in a car and you've got a strange haircut this morning. You just got out of bed, mate.
I normally blow dry, but I didn't do it today.
Right, we'll start with you because you look like you're either driving or you're in the car or something.
No,
about
I'm not
to go.
driving. Not driving.
No, I know you're not driving, but somewhere you're waiting or something. So what do you think then? Reedy's been a bit unsure. I'll use of Maresca. What are you thinking of?
I was just listening to that little argument that you had on the show. I like the people in the comments trying to rile Reedy up as well. That's always good. I
That's
get
always
both
good,
sides.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, I get both sides of the argument. Is it Nick? Sorry, who was on? Is that his name?
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nick, I get what he's saying, obviously, about taking a risk, but do we really think if Leicester City are in 8th place in December, do you think Maresca's keeping his job? Because I don't think he will. I think if he starts badly, loses some games, and we're outside the playoffs, I think they won't hesitate to sack him. I really don't. I think the priority is to go up first time, and if you're like 8th or 9th at Christmas, if you bring the right man in, you can still go up through the playoffs. So, you know, we've seen it with Leicester in the year, the Deeney year, you know, like we were in and out of the playoffs. It's easy, you know, it's not too difficult. If you're just outside the playoffs, you win a few games, you're back in there. So,
did you say if we're in 8th place at Christmas, they will sack him?
8th, 9th place, I think they'll sack him. I think they will.
Well, even though they're just outside the playoff places?
Yes, I think they'll sack him because I think the expectation is to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or something like that. I think that's what the expectation is. They won't give him time, mate. If they were going to give him time, if they said to him, and this might have happened in the negotiations, we don't know, do we? Because we weren't there. But if they're going to say to him, all right, if you don't take us up first time, that's fine. We're going to trust the process, as the Arsenal fans said, and it worked for them, I suppose. But I don't think they will, mate. I think if we're not close to promotion come Christmas, or we're not performing like we should be, I think they'll get rid, mate, and they'll try and bring someone else in. I honestly do. I
disagree. I disagree.
Because it's too expensive. It's too expensive
let's see what
to
our
not go up.
Let's see what our Sheffield correspondents got to say. Ross, we're all around the country and the world today. What are you thinking, Ross?
Well, two things. One, I mean, usually it's me that's talking nonsense, so I think Locks has replaced me this season. Because usually it's me. Well, I read it at times. Well, 90% of the time, I'm 10%. But no, we've ended the day with Enzo, Maresca. I told you it's Maresca, reader. I think obviously it's fresh, it's different. Obviously, people last year when Company went to Burnley, everyone was, oh, he's got no experience, and look what he did with Burnley. You know, with a side that hasn't got as much money as we have. So
when Burnley went down, who thought they will get 100 points and go straight back up? Hands up.
Exactly. Nobody.
Well, yeah, I would have had more hope in them going. I would have had more hope in them coming up with Company than Sean Dyche because they have boring football.
And I think this is where players as well. They got rid of about 12 of that Premiership team.
Exactly. No, it's just I think obviously what players coming and going. Hopefully, we'll find out properly who have we got and you know what he's got to work with.
Leicester.
I've got I've put you on the TV on YouTube, and my nephew's running about as in Uncle Rossi.
Oh, right. Go on, Jono.
But like, I understand where you're coming from, but like teams like I'm going to go Burnley again. They don't have as good players as us. They don't have the facilities as good as us, and they took a risk with a manager. Torre had no experience in managers. No, he did actually. He was it, and the Lector. Can't remember who he managed.
You mean you said Torre then?
Company.
Oh, Company. That's it.
I'm gonna say a bit different.
I was thinking about our old assistant.
The one that went to Wigan and lost every game pretty much and got sacked.
Yes, but I feel that they had as less foundations as we had, and they destroyed the league. If we do it correctly, we could do the same.
Yeah, but the thing is that what you got to understand, Jono, is that it's a lot more competition this year in the Championship. I mean, last year, to be fair though, up until the 45th, 46th game, there was still like 9 teams chasing playoffs. To be fair, we just got to get winning straight away.
Look, he hasn't got a backroom staff yet. There's been lots of rumours about Cambiasso coming, and I think the manager actually spoke to Cambiasso because they're big mates. Because of that, they're thinking he might come back. What do you think to the backroom staff? And do you think there's a chance of Cambiasso coming back?
First of all, before I answer that question, I just wanted to say, by the way, just to clarify, I don't think we'll be 8th at Christmas. I think we'll be fine. But I'm just saying, my point was, if we were, I think they'd sack him. On the Cambiasso thing, I don't know if that's been lost in translation. Obviously, there's a lot of rumours. I think maybe it's been lost in translation from the fact that they consulted with Cambiasso before appointing Maresca. I don't think he's going to come back. And I mean, we all heard the stories, and we've read in his book about Vardy and Cambiasso. Obviously, they didn't get on too well. I think that was just Vardy being a bit childish from the sounds of it. But I mean, look, he's got his coaching badges. He's mates with Maresca, so I wouldn't say no to it. But I don't. No one concrete has, no one said that's going to happen. So I think maybe it was
last I seen, he was assistant manager of Colombia. So where is he now? Is he out of work?
Cambiasso was.
Cambiasso.
I don't know, mate. I haven't kept up to date with Cambiasso's coaching, Chris. I'm not sure. But I mean, he's going to have to.
He was assistant manager.
Yeah. I think I've seen that his assistant from Parma, his assistant he had at Parma, Maresca, I think he's come in. I'm sure I saw. But I don't know I haven't seen anyone else. So I'm sure Leicester will announce it soon. So yeah, obviously we'll know some more. And but I think now Leicester fans are just like looking forward to transfer rumours, obviously, as we always do.
Always do. Ross.
Yeah.
John, just before ask you this question before I let you go.
Yeah.
John mentioned about 2 or 3 players from Man City, younger players. Do you agree with that, or do you think we should get people on loan, or do we go for Championship players on a couple of year contracts?
I think you're right. Well, I mentioned this the other day. I think only 1 or 2. Don't need loads. And I would tell that Palmer. I think obviously he needs a bit of game time. Obviously, he's a good player when he comes on for Man City. I think a good year in the Championship will do him really well. Obviously, then he'll go off to do better, great things at Manchester City. Because obviously, people got to understand that they've got an amazing academy. Man City. People, they spend money. Well, Phil Foden's coming and he was Man City fan, through and through. Now look what he's done. So I think we could do with like someone like Palmer. I think I've seen him play, very good player.
I'm sure there's a limit on how many you can bring in loans. I'm not sure the exact limit, but it's 2, 3. I'm not 100% sure on that. But there is a limit on the amount of loans you can bring in.
My dad's just walked in. He said 2.
If
it's Man City, we can only have 2.
Oh, right.
My dad knows. My dad knows, I don't know why my dad knows that. How do you know that?
Is it 2 from the Premier League? You're just allowed, maybe.
With Sheffield United last season.
Oh yeah, because if you remember Sheffield United, they got 2 players on loan from Man City. They can only have 2. McAtee and that, because they couldn't play in the FA Cup semi-final against them.
Is it 2 from one club you're only allowed? 2
I
from
think
one
it's
club?
2 from one club, yeah. Because I remember over the years, I think they put the cap on. Because I remember one year when Darren Ferguson went to Preston, and he took like half the Man U squad with him in the reserves. As soon as he got sacked, they all went back. So fair.
Yeah. Ross, I'm going to let you go, pal. Yeah, Haaland. Yeah, Haaland needs a season in the Championship after last night. Ross, we'll let you go, pal. Well. Cheers for joining, mate.
Hello, Tommy. Hello. It's my nephew.
Later, Ross.
You're on the TV as well.
Oh, he's gone. There was a question earlier, Locks. Well, I'll go to Reedy on this one. Money. How much money do you think we're going to have in the kitchen? Does it depend on player sales, Reedy?
It will be totally down to player sales again. They've got so many assets now that won't be staying, and we've got to make sure we get the most out of the money for them. Again, there won't be as much as we would have had them sell for in the Premier League, but it's who we sell now. Again, Castagna linked to Juve, Maddison linked to, is it Newcastle now?
According to the Twitter rumours on the Twitter sphere, so it has to be true, 55 million from Newcastle. But are Newcastle going to blow all their budget on one player? Because they can only spend 75 million on players because of the financial fair play.
Well, from what I heard of, from what I heard of, I don't think they need that sort of player because the way they play and the style they play doesn't really suit a more of an attacking central player. It's more winger play and obviously more of a high line in defence. So
Yeah.
I don't think they suit
Patrick,
him
I'm
as
not
much.
sure financial fair play will kill us because you get a bit of a discount when you drop down to the Championship. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But we've just got rid of 700,000 a week plus in wages
And we'll
for the
go
ones
more.
we've released, and Tillerman's going and stuff like that. So there's a lot of money floating about, nearly 3 million at the minute floating about spare per month. So I don't think the financial play with Hitters and get rid of a couple of other players, Madison and Barnes and Castagna, like you say. There's going to be a lot of money. I don't think the financial will be that bad this season. Locks, just before we go, pal, if you're going to make one signing, I know it's a bit of who would you want to come in? If you could make one sign, I know it's a tough one because we're not sure how he's playing and that, but is there a player that you would love to see, maybe from the Championship or the lower reaches of the Premiership, that's not getting a game that you think would do a good job for us?
I've got two, and one from each of what you just said, the Championship and the Premier League. From the Premier League, who looks like he's pretty much unwanted by most of the Premier League now, is Connor Cody. If we can tempt him, I think it'd be a great sign-in, absolutely, especially if Evans isn't signing on. And from the Championship, a creative player for Madison's replacement, Illis Chair from QPR. Can play number 10 and can play on the wing a little bit as well, or even number 8, a bit like Madison. So I'd go for both of them. But again, it just depends on what Maresca wants. You know, he's going to be trusted with it, I'm sure, with the signings. So we'll definitely bring in a couple loans because that's what most Championship teams do when they're trying to get promoted. We'll make a couple loans, whoever they are, I don't know. But permanent signings, I think Illich Chair and Connor Cody, 100%.
Rightio. Lots, I'm going to let you get back to your little city break. Where were you?
We're on our way home now. I'm just in the car park of Co-op Ibstock, actually, on the way home. So.
Oh, you're that close to home. You had to stop at Ibstock.
Yeah, it was. Where were we? I don't know. Atherstone. We weren't that far away. It was Atherstone.
Oh, I thought you were miles away.
No. So we've just driven past through Ibstock. So I thought we'd stop at Co-op, and I'm going to look for something there. So.
All right, and pal, we'll let you go, mate. Cheers for joining us from your car in Ibstock.
Yeah. Cheers. Have a good Sunday, everyone. See you in a bit.
See you later, pal. See you later. Cheers, pal. Well then, lads, bit of a show. I didn't quite expect it to go that way with Reedy being so negative and Jono being so positive. And I was positive today. I was more positive than Reedy's ever been.
That's debatable. I was I was very positive last season, mate. Very. Don't know how, but
don't know how. Well then, just one quick question? Are the fans going to take to Maresca at this moment in time?
It already looks like it.
Like
in the comments, it already looks like it. But I'm still going to stick to my point. And again, if we are 15th by the first 15 games, I can see fans starting to go onto his back about it. I just can, and and I'm trying to. I think that's me agreeing with Locks. Maybe not 8th, but if it's a lot worse, then people are going to jump on him. And that's just me.
Rightio, Jono. One last thought from you before we go.
Get behind, the manager. It's a brand new. It's like we're getting your identity now. It feels like we're gonna clean slate, new players, new manager. Hopefully, new background staff. Rookin can f off. So a fresh start, and let's be positive about going to the new season now.
Rightio, Jono, much appreciated, pal. There's Jono's thoughts on what's the upcoming season's going to bring. Cheers, pal. We'll see you next week, mate.
See you later.
See you good. See you, pal. Reedy, well, just you and me again, pal. Standing there in your plain Jane room. You need some decorating doing this afternoon, mate. Looks a bit plain behind you.
Yeah, I'll sort it for next Sunday, mate. Don't worry.
You better. Right then, Reedy. So, quickly, your thoughts, yes or no? Going straight up and go on, your thoughts very quickly. Sum it up in 2 words.
2 words? I was going to say, I hope we have a brilliant charge for the Premier League season next year. Again, it all depends on how. Again, we've said it's all if buts and maybes, so we can't say anything too much now. But I hope 5 games in, we're top of the league, cruising, and we just keep that keep the mentality and the fight going.
I forgot about the fixtures. I was going to ask everyone a question about the fixtures, but it's too late now. Thursday, 9 o'clock. The fixtures come out. Hold on a minute. Jono's waving like a demented loony in the back.
What?
Jono, what's up?
You just said all I want to talk about the fixtures, so I've come back.
No. I was going to. I haven't got time. Some of us have got to go work on a Sunday.
Okay, see you later then.
See you later. So what? Go. Right. Everyone's saying they want Cov away, but that'd be nice. Or Cov at home first game of the season. Reedy, we shall see you through the week, pal.
Yep, no worries. Remember, we are going to be live for the 9 o'clock fixtures on Thursday. So
we are. You're going to be you and Sam.
I think all of us are going to be on it.
You're going to be at work early, are you, for that? Instead of leaving it just after 9 o'clock till you turn up, as normal.
Yeah. I'm always there half an hour early, mate.
You're always there. If you're early, if you're 30 minutes early, you're on time. If you're at 9 o'clock, you're late.
Yes.
All right then, pal. I shall speak to you later.
See you in a bit.
Cheers, Reedy. Thank you. Well, it's Enzo Maresca. I think I've got it right. You know my pronunciations are utter tosh on here, but it's Enzo Maresca, our new manager. We need to get behind him. It'd be absolutely fantastic for you to join me again next week. Much appreciated that you've got yourselves out your bed to come and watch me at 9:30 in the morning, every Sunday morning. I'll be back next week. So it's ciao, adios, goodbye, arrivederci.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.